And we are live, everyone. Once that thing for my lovely wife goes out of the way. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Bitcoin boffins from around the world. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master. If this is your first time here, every Monday and every Thursday, I go live at 6 p.m. London. Today is the 11th of March, 2021. As always, to start the show, strong Bitcoin hand, people. That is the name of the game on this channel. If you've watched a lot of my material, you'll know that I've got a three-step process. Step 1, register and buy some Bitcoin. Step 2, get it off an exchange onto a hardware device. And step 3, let time pass, understand the 4-year cycles, get on with your life, and stack Satoshis whenever you can. So welcome, everyone. Very quickly, I will just pop all this lot up. I forgot. Quickly look at the chat. Jean is in from Holland. Welcome, Jean. PK, hi all. Welcome to you. Kieran Gilruth has just joined us. Bitcoin Comics, Rocky Palumbo. My lovely wife Elaine's in. Who else have we got? Kristen Lauderback coming in from Texas. Welcome, Kristen. Paul Ralal coming in. Lance Hoddles in the house. I've seen Zaza, Proud Zionist Jew, Mr. Tinker. Who else have we got so I don't miss anybody right at the top? Andy BTC. Good to see you, Andy. You say you're always here, but you remain silent and quiet. You are very, very welcome. Great to see you back in the house, Andy, as always. If you are brand new to this channel, couple of things. Firstly, help me get my subs over 500. I've been working tirelessly to build them. I'm on 491 right now. So if you haven't pounded that like button, please like, subscribe to the channel, and then share this out so we can get those subs over 500. That's a big deal. I'm quite excited by it, truth be told. You know what they say, little things please little minds. Secondly, before I forget, a shout out to Dan at justlearnbitcoin.com. We've been really worried about Dan, and he's reached out to Rocky, and whilst very, very poorly, he's at least still with us. We were deeply concerned. So, guys, in the chat, send Dan a bit of love, would you guys? Pop something in. Dan, get well soon. We're thinking of you because he really is not well. Jake Mullin, welcome to the show. Great to have you in the house as well. If you are new, you must check out this disclaimer. Very important. I'm just a regular dude from the UK who does not give financial advice, doesn't deal with charts, technical analysis, or any of that type of stuff. So do your own research before you buy any Bitcoin whatsoever. That is paramount. Do check out my work, ukbitcoinmaster.com. That is where you're going to find all the videos I've done to date. And then bitcoininterviews.com. That is where you're going to find all the interviews that I've done today, including the one that I recently did. I've had Bitcoin Meister on recently. I have had Mags, Crypto Mags on. There's also one I was on, the Toxic Happy Hour with Danish and Pubby, Guy Bennett. So check that one out. That was a great one. I loved doing that one. I've got another guest lined up for you all a week tonight. So do tune in on Monday and I'll tell you who the live guest is. So do check out those websites. And finally, for anybody that does want to drop a few Satoshis via the Lightning Network, there is my tippin.me address there. That is in the show notes right now. If anybody wants to just click it and drop some sats, you don't have to. I don't expect it, but some people want to. And finally, there was one other thing I was going to say, and being my age, it's gone completely right out of my head. I can't think what it was. I am going to quickly pop this across the screen. Zaza's in the house. Lightninghood.com got some great merch over there, people. Check it out. Satoshi Corner, he's in Ireland. He's got some awesome merch as well. And Bitcoin to the Moon, my good friend down in Australia. So some great what do you call it over there? You don't call it merch, do you? Swag, I believe it's called in the US. And finally, do subscribe also in the show notes to my backup channel, UK Bitcoiner. Now, why would you subscribe? It's dormant, it's laying dormant, but I've had this channel taken down once already for no reason. And if it gets taken down again, people feel lost. They don't seem to understand that they got to go searching and see what's going on. It's like, oh, where have you been? Well, if this one gets taken down a second time, as is possible, then I will go live instantly on my backup channel, UK Bitcoiner. So right now, go over to the show notes, click it on the link. It will take you straight there. Click subscribe and then come back here and you're all done. You're all ready if this channel gets taken down again. And one final thing, excuse me, before we move on, and that is listen, what is wrong with me? I was just going to say something to you and it's completely gone. Oh, yes, I know what it is. If you want to get my attention, if you want to shout out, if you've got a question, type in UK Bitcoin Master exactly as you see it next to my little avatar, and it will highlight in orange for me, not for you. It will light up orange for me, and then I'll gladly give you a shout out or read your question out or whatever it might be. In fact, Jean from Holland has just put in there 1 kilo of gold today, $55,771. 1 Bitcoin, 56,773. Hey, listen, incredible. You know, that trillion market cap is back. You know, I believe this is just a start, but what do I know? I'm some crazy Brit. But, you know, it's exciting times ahead, people. This really is the land of buy and hold. Definitely don't sell your Bitcoin. Not now. Nobody ever or shouldn't ever sell their Bitcoin in a bull market. Absolute total madness. So Jean subbed. Thank you, Jean. Appreciate it. Every one of you, go over to UK Bitcoiner right now and subscribe, because YouTube took my channel down for no reason. And it might happen again. And then I'm going to go live over there. So you just well subscribe. You're not going to get any notifications. It's dormant. So do what Jean has just done. Nip over and subscribe. Let's get over to the desktop, people. A quick look at the Bitcoin price. And very nice green daily candles there. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 green candles, always looking nice. But of course, look at the red ones to the left and don't think we can't have another correction. None of us know when they're going to come. You know, certainly I've said this before, in the bull run of 2017, it looks like there's about 5 or 6 major corrections on the way up to the 20K top. And I'm sure we're going to see more corrections like the one you're looking at here on our way to 100,000, 200 grand or whatever Bitcoin is going to do over the coming months of 2021 and into 2022. So 56,890 right now, looking pretty darn healthy. For those that sold out saying that's it, Bitcoin's done a year ago tomorrow. By the way, you need to be on Bitcoin Meister's show tomorrow. He is celebrating 1 year since the debacle of the lockdowns and everything else took place and the markets crashed. So I'll be on, Adam. Bitcoin Meister's show tomorrow. That is the 12th of March. And he will be talking about 1 year since that all happened. And if you're a strong hand, you maybe got a bit worried about what was going on when it was crashing, but you still held, and now, you know, you are vilified because you're back to nearly 57,000 again. So if that was you, then give yourself a darn good pat on the back. You truly deserve it. So let's get over to some of the tabs that I want to talk about. And I couldn't be more bullish. Now, if you ask me why I'm bullish, I would say I ain't got a flipping clue, because I don't understand the charts. I don't understand all this Fibonacci and, you know, technical trading or, you know, TA or whatever it's all called. Here's what I do know. Okay, I do know that so many massive institutions are in, they're on the fence, or they're moving in. So here we are. Fidelity, I think they head up something like a 7 trillion organization. 2 trillion asset manager, Fidelity. Crypto assets will continue to gain institutional adoption. Now, if we had have said that, you know, 3 years ago, as many of us did, you know, we'd have been laughed out of the building. You know, they're not going to. Don't be stupid. You're absolutely crackers. So here we are. I've got too many tabs to go and read it all. Your job is to literally go in the show notes 5 minutes after it's finished and read some of these articles. This is what builds that strong Bitcoin hand. It doesn't come by accident. I don't put these links down in the show notes for the good of my own health. I put them down in the show notes because you should go and read them, even if you just speed read through them, to understand what these people are saying. So, excuse me. Number one, there you go. They're going to continue to gain institutional adoption. Is that bullish or is it bearish? Then we've got this one. Norwegian billionaire's shareholder letter is the year's most bullish Bitcoin article to date. Very powerful. What is that about? Well, this Norwegian company, I've got some notes down here. It's a 180-year-old engineering company. I think it's worth about 500 billion, something like that. It's bought 1,170 Bitcoin at 7.25 billion kroner and entered the market. This is a half a trillion organization, 500 billion. So what happened was it wrote a letter to its shareholders, and you can read some of it here. We'll look briefly, but it'll be in the show notes afterwards, the letter, the link to the live letter online. Dear shareholders, today we announced that Aker has established CT2, a new company that will invest in exciting projects and companies throughout the Bitcoin ecosystem while keeping all of its liquid investable assets in Bitcoin. The new company has a capitalization of 500 million kroner, an amount we aim to increase significantly over time as we gain experience and identify exciting opportunities. Excuse me. Before I proceed with our story, I want to state upfront that I am aware that Bitcoin is often criticized for a number of perceived challenges, including its electricity consumption, its inability to scale with respect to transactions, and its potential to facilitate anonymous illegitimate payments. We believe that Bitcoin can be a solution rather than a problem for each of those, but we will get to the arguments for that later in the article. So again, well worth reading that article. Glenn McCann, great to see you in the house. I don't think I've missed anybody else out. Don't forget, people, I'm going to say it again. Give Dan at Just Learn Bitcoin some love in the chat, because he's at home, he can't do anything, he's pretty well disabled. The only thing he can do is got a TV and he watches YouTube videos. So whether it's live now in the house or whether he's doing it on catch up, Dan from Just Learn Bitcoin will be watching this. And I want to see loads of love for Dan to get well in the chat. So until Dan is back on his feet and monitoring his justlearnbitcoin.com website, even though he's a show sponsor, I won't be promoting that because it needs Dan to update it, to send merch out, etc., etc. But again, give Dan some love. Really, really important. If the tides were turned or the boot was on the other foot, I'm sure you would want people to reach out and send best wishes to you to get well. So please do that for Dan. Bitcoin sees huge institutional demand, says Goldman Sachs head of digital assets. Again, articles like this from institutions like Goldman is going to attract attention. So these are not negative, they're all positive, which is just so bullish for Bitcoin. But don't take my word for it. When I was putting the show notes together, I go in and I read these articles, and you really should be doing the same. I try not to find the headline articles off all of these publications. I try to search and find ones that maybe others aren't maybe covering. Maybe they are, I don't know. So, there's something else. I'd prepared the show, and then I watched Bitcoin Meister's show early hours of this morning, and he alluded to something on there that is not proven as true, but something to do with Grayscale BTC may have bailed out BlockFi. It's loose. It's worth investigating. I didn't have a chance to add that into the show, but that's the type of information you're going to find on these types of channels that gives you that right off the bat, up-to-date news as best as we can. So, whilst that is not concrete, it is worth going and checking out and see what's being said about all of it, so that you can draw your own conclusions. And remember, BlockFi is really pushing forward with, getting people to custody people's Bitcoin and give them percentages, earnings back. It's the same old adage. I'm scared to death to loan my Bitcoin out. I don't want the chance of something folding, something going down for 6%, when I can just hold my Bitcoin, get my crypto dividends, and add to my Bitcoin pot in that way. So, I'm not saying the innovation isn't going to come and we aren't going to get more and more companies offering this. I'm saying you just got to be very, very, very mindful that if you allow a custodian to hold your Bitcoin and your keys, you are risking the chance of it all, what you've loaned them, going to pot and disappearing. So just keep that one in mind. Anthony Scaramucci again, the Skybridge co-founder, another massive institution making waves. I love this bit. I'm only focused on Bitcoin, the big dog. Man, there are so many cryptocurrencies out there, and yet all of these big guns are gunning, excuse the pun, for Bitcoin only. Yeah, Lieutenant Dan, feel better soon. That's an order. Love it, Rocky. Dan, get well soon, buddy. Reply to my DM or email so that I know you're okay. Rocky's obviously told me that you are. Sci-Flyer, Jon Snow, welcome to the house. Pound the like button, people. Share this out on Twitter. Help me get my subs just over 500. We're at 491 before the show started. So if you're just joining us, reach out, get this message out there so we can get those subs up over the 500 mark. That would be awesome. Yeah, I know many out there have got thousands of subs, but I'm a little old weirdo dude from the UK just spreading the word about Bitcoin, and it'd be really, really good to get myself over 500 subs. So you got Scaramucci raving about it as well from Skybridge Capital. So right now, if you don't think we're in a bull run and you want to get rid of your Bitcoin, I don't mean this offensively, but you're brain dead. You got to be. The one thing you don't do is buy when all this positive media is out there, and then as they start piling in, you've got this fear of loss, FOMO, or fear of missing out, and then more institutions pile in, then the others looking, thinking, I don't want to be the last in, so they start piling in, and we get this massive momentum, pretty well identical to what we got back in 2017, and I lived through that, and it was just crazy FOMO. It was exciting but mental, and you knew it wasn't sustainable. Bitcoin reclaims 1 trillion market cap. What's in store next? So did I highlight something to read here? Yeah, institutional demand continues. Current sentiment appears to be very bullish as more institutional players rush to add Bitcoin to their balance sheets and portfolios. Last week, Goldman Sachs announced they were restarting their crypto trading desk due to the increased demand from institutional clients. MicroStrategy recently added even more Bitcoin to its balance sheet, spending an additional 10 million to buy another 205 Bitcoins in a high conviction crypto bet. Stimulus package gives life to rally. Over the weekend, the Senate also passed President Biden's 1.9 trillion stimulus package. It's likely that the approval played a significant factor in Bitcoin surging past 50K. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. It doesn't really matter. The point is, if they're going to go and print more and more money and helicopter money, it's just going to, it's going to debase everybody's what they've got in their purses, their wallets, or in their banks. Is going to make it worthless. And more people are going to start looking at alternatives like cryptocurrencies. Don't forget, if you want to get my attention, type in UK Bitcoin Master. I don't think I've missed anybody No, I haven't since Jean. Sometimes I catch something out of the corner of my eye on the second message box, but mostly I'm looking for anything down here that lights up in orange. Elaine, you're my moderator. I don't know why Zaza's message has been withheld. Do you want to check that out for me? Awesome. So what else have we got? JP Morgan, as if that weren't enough. And we know that they were against Bitcoin and were slamming it. It's certainly when I got in 2017. JP Morgan takes the indirect route and files for a cryptocurrency exposure basket. So they're not buying Bitcoin. They are exposing themselves to crypto with a basket of products. That's okay. For me, maybe they don't understand, but I do. I want to hold my Bitcoin and my private keys. I don't want to buy a bit of paper that says I got Bitcoin from Grayscale, BTC, or one of those types of companies, if that's even the right lingo. I want to know that I own my Bitcoin. And as long as I can remember my 24 seed words up here, I can take $1 billion worth of Bitcoin through any airport departure lounge to any country on the planet I want. And they don't even know, that I've done it. So the positive from this is that JP Morgan are also moving into the crypto space. And I think there's one more on the positives and then a couple of things to be mindful of. Swiss retailers now offering Bitcoin gift cards in stores. This is a very slow movement into mainstream where, people can do things with their Bitcoin. Again, I'm not doing anything with my Bitcoin, until at least 2024 halving. Actually, I might take a bit off the table because I want my lovely wife to retire, but that's by the by. Let's have a look at what this one was saying. I think I highlighted something here as well. Yeah, rising use of crypto gift cards. For customers who want to experience using their crypto, crypot, they need to spell, as a medium of exchange, platforms like Bitrefill are of immense benefit. Founded in 2014, Bitrefill is currently the world's largest crypto-only e-commerce site. The platform offers services in 170 countries with over 1,650 businesses, including Amazon, Walmart, Nike, Uber and Nintendo. They allow users to purchase mobile phone credit and gift cards without hassle. But there is a new market growing outside of the US for gift cards. It's a booming market in Africa. So just another proof that we are in the right place at the right time. And all we need to do is stack those Satoshis and hold on for dear life, or build that strong Bitcoin, not hand, stomach. Why do I say that? If you think a $3,000 to $5,000 drop in a heartbeat is scary, wait until Bitcoin's $250,000 and you might knock 50,000 off it in a heartbeat. And then tell me if you've got that strong Bitcoin hand, because that's when you're going to need it, when, it's the same percentage drops as now, but of course the price is way bigger and you're going to need to have that mega strong stomach or strong Bitcoin hand, as we always refer to it. Okay, so I think I've got a couple of, not warnings as such. This one, I keep hearing that, the governments, the banks, they're not going to go down without a fight. They'll fight us all the way. I think Gandhi's quote said, first they laugh at you, then they ignore you, then they fight you, then you win, from Gandhi. So they're fighting us for sure. Why do I say that? I don't know, firsthand here, but why on earth, as Tone Vase said, would some really good Twitter influencers have their Twitter accounts removed by Twitter? What we're finding more and more is anybody that speaks against what the state are doing, they're being silenced, and what we've got to do is we've got to not allow that to be happen. To happen. So I can't think who it was. Let's have a look. Who was it that got their Twitter accounts. Peter Cormack said this. At least 6 crypto-related accounts have been recently suspended by Twitter. The listed accounts include some of the most prominent crypto figures on Twitter with over 300,000 subscribers, like Bitcoin on-chain analyst Willy Woo. I can't believe Willy Woo would be controversial over anything. And BT Stock to Flow create a plan B. Plan B, with the stock to flow model. Apparently his has been taken down as well. I don't know whether it's, like a couple of weeks where they throw you off and then they let you back on. I don't know what's going to happen here, but really surprises me with Willy Woo and Plan B, as well as Crypto Advocate, the Crypto Dog. I don't really know much about that individual, but the point I'm making is don't think that the state, the banks, are going to go down without a fight. Now, they're not going to ban Bitcoin, but I believe what they're going to do is they're going to try and censor and silence anyone that speaks out against what their plan is. Let's just keep it loose like that, because I'm not a controversial character. I don't want to go and lose my channel because I said something that is deemed controversial. I'm simply saying it appears that they want to silence certain individuals that, might sort of go against their narrative, for want of a better word. So, just keep an eye on this, really. And then finally, how many people can relate to this one? How many people have gone to send their crypto somewhere and they have that heart-stopping moment when they do the copy and paste and they wonder if it's going to show up the other end? Can you relate to that? I know I can. In the early days when I went to move it and it didn't show up instantly on my Trezor, you start to freak a bit. You start to have that heart-stopping moment. Well, this article is talking about the copy and paste method, where we copy our address and then we paste it in and we do it. And, whilst that's pretty okay, really, it's so I just want to drive home how important it is before you send that, before you hit that send button, that you go in and you double check that address has not been changed by any type of hacker that might have got hold of your machine or got hold of your keystrokes or whatever it is. There's loads of ways hackers can look at what you're doing on your computer, and they can literally make, take a capital I to a lower I, or, change a C to a B, or just one digit in where you're sending it to, and instead of sending it to your own wallet, it's gone to the hackers. So can I just ask you all to be very, very mindful? One of the things you need to learn to do, Rocky Palumbo taught me to do this. When I am moving anything, I now always have my screen split, and on one half I have the address that I'm sending it to highlighted. I then copy and paste it in, and then I put them side by side, and it might take a minute, but I go through and I check every digit that no one's tampered with that, so my Bitcoin is staying in my possession. And when you do that, then you're pretty well guaranteeing that it isn't going somewhere else. So again, just something to think about is all I'm saying, people. Don't be reckless and just do your copying and pasting and assume it's all done and then wonder where your Bitcoin went. Because, as the value of your coin, our coins go up, I'm telling you, these hackers, more and more and more, they are going to want to steal our Bitcoin. Don't let them have it, is what I say. Very, very quickly, I've only got one thing to promote, and that is Matthew Underhill's book. Only because I've got it, I've read it. My family have read it. It's a great gift to give to someone because it's a very easy read, a basic read on what is Bitcoin, etc. So you could give it to a family member as a gift for birthday or Christmas. Well worth reading. I think it's like a precursor to the Bitcoin Standard. Again, on Amazon, worth checking out. If you have read it, go to Amazon and leave a review. I know Matthew would really appreciate it. Gary O'Connell, welcome to the house. And no, I'm not going to read out about your Thai girlfriend, Gary. What are you like? Let's move on. Okay, some great tweets I found. VJ Boyapati, say that when you've had a couple of glasses of wine. Each correction you survive is a badge of honour that you can tell your grandkids about. Now, I don't want you to take that lightly. What you're doing now, you are going to be so proud to talk to your grandkids that you were in at the start of all this. You know, if you're younger than me, you're going to see maybe 20 or 30 years of this, whereas I might get 10 or 15, maybe more, God willing. The point is, I don't think many people believe what is going to happen. If this thing swallows up the global money system, you could end out at some point, a couple of decades from now, seeing a $20 million Bitcoin. Do you think that might change your family's life? Do you think you might sit around and tell your grandkids about how you got in and how you held through those corrections when your stomach was churning, wondering if this is the end, is Bitcoin over, etc.? Rocky Palumbo, I have some great topics to discuss for Saturday's 21 Million Club meetup. Get plenty of rest before the meetup. It might be run extra long. Okay, so Rocky's talking about our meetup. If you're brand new to the channel, we've got a little select group that every Saturday evening once a month we meet up on Zoom. We don't go live to YouTube, and we get to know each other and we talk Bitcoin. It is great for brand new people that want to come on and ask the more seasoned Bitcoiners questions. If we've got seasoned Bitcoiners, we just chew the fat or talk about Bitcoin, find out about each other, start to build friendships, etc. Yorkie, welcome to the show. Don't worry you're late. Drag that little red bar back, start from the beginning and play it on 2x. That's my advice, Yorkie. So if you want to know how you could become part of the 21 Million Club, it is an invitation only club, but you can reach out to me after the show. In the show notes at the bottom, there's an email address for me, and I'll happily tell you what the criteria is to join that club. Even if you're brand new to all of this, don't be scared to come and join the club, because, we don't talk anything that's going to scare anyone off. We will happily chat with brand new people and answer their very, very basic questions, because we understand that everyone's got to start somewhere. We all came into this new to start with, and we had those questions that we thought, oh, I don't really want to ask that, I'll sound silly. Ask the questions. That's how you find out about it. So we got one coming up Saturday. Pretty excited about it, I have to say. So you Bitcoiners that have had my email that haven't responded, please respond and say at least you got it, because some people are saying they're not getting the email. It has gone out with the joining link, people. So if you haven't had it, you need to reach out to me. Moving on. Another tweet from Orange Dog. Imagine if I told you in early December that at the end of February, buying the dip would mean $46,000. Who would have believed that? When we were at 30,000, who really believed 3,000, who would have really believed that we could hit 50,000? We're at 50,000. Now you've got to start believing that we're going to do 500,000. It's not going to happen overnight. You've got to hold that Bitcoin. You've got a dollar cost average in. You've got to buy those dips, people. You need to start looking at those dips instead of, oh, the price is down. You need to start looking at those corrections as buying opportunities to buy Bitcoin on sale. Really, really important that you understand and build that mindset. Really is. Heidi Blockchain Chick. During the last bull run, Bitcoin had about 630 to 40. I think I might have talked about this before. Hey ho, repetition is the mother of learning. Remember that one. Had about 630 to 40 drops on its way up. This might be our second one. And if you look at the chart that I showed earlier, I actually think that was the second correction of the year. It certainly, was a pullback. It certainly went sideways for a while, and then consolidated, I think is the right word, wheedled out the chaff, got rid of the weak hands. Some of the people that wanted to take profit sold it, and then the institutions eventually bought it back up. Bitcoin Comics, I think I've said hello to you, but if I haven't, welcome. Great to have you in the house as always. So, there's going to be more corrections to come, people. What else? John Miles. John Miles did a great song. Who remembers the John Miles song with a... Anybody tell me what that was? If I invested my tuition money in Bitcoin instead of my degree, I'd be $21,800,000 richer and would be working the same job. Help the next generation learn from your mistakes. Now, I've got to say that, there's a timing for all of us, and there are certain times in our life that I would say to John Miles that when he was at the age when he was doing his degree, he would have never put that money into Bitcoin because it would have been seen as speculative. His family would have probably gone nuts. I just think what he's highlighting that I like to highlight is, when you buy your Bitcoin, even if you've got 0.2 of a Bitcoin and you think, I haven't got very much, just think of what that will be worth in the future. Maybe you got to wait 2 or 3 decades for you to realize the financial wealth from that. But your grandchildren, the great grandchildren, and the same again, they are going to realize that you left them as a legacy. So don't ever look at your 0.2, 0.3 Bitcoin and say, I haven't got very much, because you are ahead of 99% of people, regular people in the world. And if you got that, you have front run many of those big institutions that are not even in yet. Bitcoin Comics, you're welcome. Great to have you with us. This one from Nut Svanholm. Very well-respected dude in the space. Imagine everything there is and everything that will ever be divided by 21 million. And I'll say it again, and I know I've used this tweet before. No one understands Bitcoin. I would say a tiny percentage of us, and I'm including myself in that, because I just have this total firm belief that over time, Bitcoin, well, it's already becoming a store of value and a safe haven asset, but it will become a unit of account and a unit of account around the world, and it'll underpin the financial world with in terms of new money. I believe that's coming. You can't even shake my faith, but most people don't get that. And I think this is what he's referring to here. You take 21 million coins and you divide, say, 7 billion people on the planet into that 21 million, and I think everybody can have $11 each or something like that. Don't quote me, it might be slightly wrong, but it isn't a great deal if you divide it. So the mere fact that you, whoever you are, might have, heading towards 1 Bitcoin, I take my hat off to you, man. I take my hat off to you, because you are ahead of 99% of the world. So to pull the show to a close, me in quotes, I love them. Here's a couple. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. Hey, another saying is the risk takers always win. So take a risk, get into Bitcoin. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars. I love that as well. People, that is your UK Bitcoin Master live show for today, the 11th of March 2021. Join Bitcoin Meister tomorrow. I'll be in there as long as he does it at a sensible time for the UK, for the celebration of 1 year since the madness started. That'll be an interesting one. Help me get over 500 subs, people. If you've got a couple of friends, send them the link to my show. Say, hey, you ought to check out Bitcoin and this crazy Brit. Let's get me over 500. I'd really, really, really appreciate that. So help me out there. Share this out on Twitter, as always. Follow me on LBRY.TV. I'm on BitChute. All these videos go up on those platforms. It also goes out on Facebook as well. Monday, I will be announcing my live guest for Thursday. But for now, to each and every one of you that supported me up to nearly 500 subs, thanks a lot. I totally appreciate it. I'm going to check out. I'll be back on Monday at the regular 6 p.m. London time. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, signing off for now. If you're watching on the listening on the podcast, thanks. If you're watching on YouTube, after 24 hours have passed, you'll be able to click on the squares as they come up. I'll be back on Monday. I'm out of here. Take care, you all. See ya.